When the initial AirPods Pro 3 reviews came out, every major reviewer basically said the same thing. The sound quality was excellent and the noise cancellation was quite improved from the AirPods Pro 2. But all of them ended up missing the biggest downside that I've run into with the AirPods Pro 3, which didn't show up until several weeks after launch, which is exactly why I review things over the long term, because some issues just don't show up in 2 weeks. So what is this big issue with the AirPods Pro 3? Well, a few weeks into using them constantly, I started to notice weird background sounds while using ANC. It sounds kind of hollow, almost like this ocean-like noise, as if there was just some sound leakage problem with the AirPods Pro 3. And I noticed this with the sound of my own voice when I'm writing at my Mac and reading out scripts to myself, or the noise of just typing on a keyboard, or weirdly a sound like rustling a plastic bag. That's something that definitely triggers it as well. Now, all of these were sounds that the AirPods Pro 3 were canceling out fine when I first got them. And even without any active noise, the background noise you hear at times would just sound slightly echoey or hollow as well. Now, at first I thought, well, maybe this is just a fit issue, or maybe the AirPods Pro just got dirty. I did the ear tip test. I actually tried to size up and size down, and the issues still occurred. So it's clearly not a fit issue. I got the AirPods cleaning kit from Apple and cleaned them following Apple's instructions. That didn't fix it either. Okay, so maybe it's just a software glitch. So I unpaired them from my iPhone and other Apple devices, and then reset them by double tapping the front of the case continuously, which is how you do it now since there's no Bluetooth pairing button on the back. And that didn't resolve it either. So at that point, I went to Reddit, and sure enough, other users were complaining of similar issues. But given how many AirPods Pro Apple sells, and even though there were numerous posts about this, I figured perhaps all of these people, myself included, we just got faulty pairs of AirPods. So a few weeks ago, like any sane person would do, I bought another pair of AirPods Pro 3. I took them out of their case, put them in, and everything sounded great. The noise cancellation was perfect for about 45 minutes, and then there it was, that hollow background noise again. So at this point, it's very unlikely that I just got two faulty pairs of AirPods that were manufactured months apart from each other. So I went back to Reddit and realized I had missed a key detail that someone had pointed out. When this hollow noise appears, if you trigger transparency mode and then switch back to noise cancellation again, it apparently disappears. And sure enough, that was my experience as well, making it likely that this issue that I've been plagued with is actually a software issue, or at least that's my best guess at this point. And if you've noticed a similar issue with your AirPods Pro 3 or just had the noise cancellation degrade but don't notice that hollow sound as much, do definitely let me know in the comments. And if you want to see more long-term reviews like this one, by the way, a thumbs up on this video does go a long way to supporting us, as well as, of course, making sure you're subscribed. All right, so I can just end the video now and say I don't recommend these, right? It's actually a little bit more complicated than that. One, this is an issue that I do not think is affecting everybody who bought these AirPods. Otherwise, you'd be seeing even way more threads and comments about this issue online. So either this is an issue that is only affecting certain people's AirPods, maybe it's like the internal mics and different people's ear shapes are interacting with them differently, so that's why some people experience it while others don't, or this is an issue that is impacting everybody's AirPods, but only certain people notice it or can hear it. With audio is kind of weird. People perceive audio differently. I could also see that argument being plausible as well. But the real reason I just can't say I 100% don't recommend these is even with the issue I've had with them, I find myself still using them quite often because of the highlights like noise cancellation when it's actually working. These buds are quite a bit better than the AirPods Pro 2, blocking out more background noise, especially for higher frequencies, that I could actually use them while cooking, which I could never do with the Pro 2 because they didn't block out enough of those higher frequency noises. Overall, I think the AirPods Pro 3 noise cancellation is actually right in line with my new Sony WF-1000 XM6s, which I'm currently reviewing. Now, given that the XM6s don't have that degradation issue that I've had with the AirPods Pro 3, plus they come with foam tips that are all foam tips and just still give you better passive noise isolation overall, I think they still remain the better option for noise cancellation. Now, the AirPods Pro 3 did introduce some foam into their tips, which is part of why their noise cancellation is better than the previous generation, but they still have that classic silicone outer layer. I've noticed with the AirPods Pro 3 specifically, after long listening sessions, I'll notice my ear canal will have just like a tiny layer of condensation, like not like beaded water or anything like that, but you can just tell that there's a little bit of condensation in there. That's something I did not notice with my previous generation of AirPods as much, and something I also don't get with the Sonys. That could be something that's contributing to this hollow noise, since the condensation appearance often correlates with that hollow noise, though of course, correlation does not necessarily equal causation. Sound quality is another highlight. Apple gave the AirPods Pro 3 a new multi-port acoustic architecture that helps precisely control the airflow, carrying sound into your ear, plus next generation adaptive EQ. Together, those give the AirPods Pro 3 a slightly wider soundstage compared to the Pro 2. Now, you'll also notice a bit more detail in your music, and at the low end, I think the bass is a bit better as well, though not overly heavy or muddy. Mic quality is also excellent, as is their transparency mode. Something Apple just seems to be able to do better than anybody else in this category. All right, so here's a mic test of the AirPods Pro 3. There's not a ton of background noise or anything. Cars about to come by me here, so you can see how well their mics cancel out. This is what their mics sound like. And if you've only used AirPods, it is really easy to not appreciate just how good this transparency mode is compared to a lot of the competition. It doesn't even sound like you're wearing earbuds. The only giveaway is just feeling the pressure in my ear. Otherwise, the audio that I'm hearing sounds exactly like my voice sounds when I'm not wearing earbuds. It's crazy good. And fit is another highlight. Now, in the past, I found the AirPods Pro to not be the most comfortable earbuds, but I think they've really improved things here. Notice that they changed the location of where the ear tips stick out of the bud. So less of the bud actually has to go into your ear canal. I think that's why I've been able to wear them for hours without any discomfort, and that's certainly something I could not do with the original AirPods Pro or even the AirPods Pro 2, which could make my ears sore after a long listening session. And another improvement Apple made with the AirPods Pro 3 is battery life. They have noticeably better battery life at 8 hours with ANC on, compared to the 6 hours I got with the AirPods Pro 2. And I haven't had any issues with the battery life so far. Another feature I've loved about these buds is the Find My integration and that precision finding feature where you can use your phone and the U1 chip to find the AirPods using ultra wideband. That's the technology that makes this work. It is so useful and works so reliably and is so good. If you've only ever known AirPods, it's so easy to not appreciate how good this feature is compared to other buds. And the fact that this case has a speaker in it just makes them so much easier to actually be able to find. So those are the major things I've really liked about them, though there are a few more features I haven't used all that much that I still want to mention. First is heart rate monitoring. It's great for those who don't want to wear a watch to track their heart rate during a workout, but because I do wear an Apple Watch, it's not something I've really utilized for workouts. The live translation feature got a lot of headlines, but it's still in beta and is limited in the languages that it supports. Plus, that's another feature that I haven't utilized or even really been able to test in my daily life, but I'll leave a few videos of that specific feature and people's experience with it in the Learn More section of our blog post. There, you'll also find all of the products linked in this video, plus links to additional retailers and links to our store page where you can see all of the products that we recommend. The only other downside I still have with AirPods is this case. Because it is so glossy, sometimes it can be a little slippery, slip out of your hand or pocket, and then it scratches so easily. It'll scratch within like the first day you have this thing in your pocket. and it scratches so much it almost forms this kind of like used patina on it, which honestly really doesn't bother me all that much, but if you don't like seeing a lot of scratches on your tech products, could definitely bother you. So given the fairly major issues I've had with the AirPods Pro 3, if I had known about that going in, would I have still bought them? And would I recommend that you get a pair now? Well, if you're specifically looking for AirPods, I still would recommend them, primarily because even though this annoying bug that I run into from time to time, usually after wearing them for an extended period, maybe 45 minutes to an hour or so on average, I do still find myself wearing them constantly. And that's because even with this issue, I like their fit, sound quality, how easy they are to connect to my Apple devices, the great spatial audio you get when paired to an Apple TV or other Apple device. So for the times that I want to use AirPods, out of all the AirPods I could potentially reach for, the AirPods Pro 3 are still the ones I pick up every time. And the reason for that is they just sound better. They've got better noise cancellation, a better fit, and longer battery life. Now, yes, of course, I wish they were more perfect than they actually are, but their downsides haven't led me to not actually want to use them, which is why, yes, if you're looking for AirPods that aren't headphones, they still ultimately do get my recommendation. Now, if you're between these and the AirPods 4 with ANC, I have done a video specifically comparing those two that I'll leave here if you want to dive deeper into that topic. Now, if you're looking for earbuds in general, I'd still look at the Sony WF-1000 XM6s, which have really great sound and excellent noise cancellation, though for me, a slightly worse fit. So those are all of my thoughts on the AirPods Pro 3 after 6 months. Let me know what you think of them in the comments, and make sure you check out our website, 6monthlater.net, for all of the latest on the tech that we cover. And for deals on Apple products or even specifically AirPods, check out our shop page, just search Apple deals or AirPods deals to see if any of those products that we recommend have currently gone on sale. For 6 Months Later, I'm Josh Tedder, and if you made it all the way to the end here, let me know by commenting patina. Thanks for watching.